Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, another exciting exclusive interview. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. It is MC Serge. How are you doing?
How we doing, Glenn? It's been a long time, my man. I am well, and I've got to say, I'm quite happy to be producing this wee interview for yourself, for the listeners, and just people further afield. It's been a wee while. I've been in the background, but I'm coming back out, as they say.
Well, we're going to find out all about that over the next half hour, Ross. I don't know exactly how you want me to call it. Would you like me to call you Ross, or would you like me by your professional name, MC Serge?
Ross or Serge is absolutely fine. 90% of people call me Serge, but the only people who calls me Ross these days are my mum and dad and my wee girl. So Serge is absolutely fine, but if you feel comfortable with Ross, you charge on. I'm easy.
No problem
know
at
that,
all.
and knowing that way, Glenn, before you get too excited.
Well, I tell you, I will call you MC Serge. I'll call you Serge tonight. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's MC Serge, and we've got a couple of questions. You've taken time out. You were telling me, we were having a wee chat off air, and you were telling me a wee bit of your background and all of what you've been doing. So I'm excited to drop these questions. We've got 10 questions for you tonight, and we're going to, as I say, I'll not rush you. We'll try and fire through them. We'll find out a wee bit about how you get involved in music and where you are in life just now and what you're doing. Is that fine with you?
Happy to oblige, Glenn. Happy to oblige.
Brilliant.
Hopefully there's a few stories in there along the way.
Fantastic. So we'll start at number one. Can you tell me about? Can you tell us a bit about your musical journey as an MC, starting from your music background to becoming a well-known MC at prestigious events across the country? And I do know that you've played quite a few big gigs, Ross, because, as I say, I know what you do. So here we go. Fill me in.
Right, so I think it goes back to, I think it was about 5 or 6 when I started listening to music seriously. I remember sitting in my mum and dad's house. My dad had an old hi-fi player, the 3 bits one. It had the record player at the top, it had a CD bit, and then it had the tape decks at the bottom. And then my first earliest memory of music was...
I love it.
I used to listen to Queen on my dad's hi-fi with the biggest set of headphones you've ever seen in your life.
Right.
And obviously these were wired headphones, not your Bluetooth ones now, so you could only go so far. So I used to dance about with these headphones in, and they used to come out all the time. My dad shout, "Put the headphones back in." So I kind of listened to Queen, and then as I got to about 7 or 8, my cousin, Derek, he's a wee bit older than me, so he was maybe 13 at the time or so. And that's when Resurrection and stuff was big. So he was from the Linwood area, so he used to get tapes, all the tapes of Resurrection, whether they were brand new ones or whether they were recorded ones. So he would get them, and I used to stay up there kind of quite frequently. So I'd say to him, "What's that tape you've got? What's that tape?" So he would give me the tapes of Resurrection, and that was it. That was me hooked on sort of dance music. So growing up at 7-year-old, I was listening to Resurrection. That's all I knew. That's what I loved. I was like, this is amazing. Queen was out the window. That was it. Bye.
Yep.
There was no more rock band. So I think the earliest tape I ever remember was getting a tape. It was for Resurrection. It was Mrs. Woods at Resurrection. And it was an MC on that tape. So between the tunes and the guy who was kind of talking over it, I'm like, I couldn't tell you who the MC was at the time. That's something I should find out, actually.
I'm going to try and help you here. I think it might have been MC Sneaky Eye. I don't know.
Right.
I think that's who it might have been, Ross. Because I had the exact same tape that you're talking about, right? And if it wasn't Sneaky Eye, it might have been Triple X. So I don't know. But
Right.
I think it was an English. Wow. I think it was an English MC, and I think it was Sneaky Eye. It was brilliant. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. See that. Again, that's probably something I should have found out before now, but I just always remembered the tape Mrs. Woods at Resurrection. And that was me for there on, and it was pretty much anybody who I could talk to, if they had tapes, do you have Resurrection tapes? And then I found out you could get Fantasia tapes, and that was me. I was like, get me Fantasia tapes, and that was a total different sound because it was mostly English driven and kind of English based events.
Yeah, that kind of drum and bass and piano and stuff. Yep.
It was the old breakbeat sound. I obviously Resurrection was quite like a 4/4 sound, but that breakbeat sound just melted me. I was like, wow, this is different. I love this as well, and between Resurrection and Fantasia, that's all I listened to by the age of 7 till I was about 18.
Really?
So honestly, you can fling bonkers in there as well, because obviously the kind of happy hardcore bit come along in the middle of that, and
That's right. Yeah, they had the big night up in Glasgow as well.
so we had I had the bonkers sets, I had the Resurrection tapes, I had the Fantasia tapes. That's how it came about for me. But the only band I used to ever listen to was Oasis as I got a bit older. I don't know why, because my mates listened to Oasis, so I got into Oasis. But I would go to their house in the Blau, put Oasis, and I was like, no, put Fantasia on that, put on LSD for 92 at
Brilliant.
Castle or whatever, you know what I mean? So that was, I used to get shouted at, we don't want to listen to that, big man. So I used to leave a lot of parties early to go to my house so I could put my tapes on. This was before CDs were a massive thing, but tapes were my way of getting into it. And then as I got a bit older, a lot of my friends got into it, DJ Sai and stuff like that, and was the main tapes that used to get put about my school and my high school. So we'll get a bit of Sai in us, and then that was me the kind of English sound and MCing, and I took a shine to it. But the one that always stuck in my memory was, as I grew up, my cousin had the tape. I don't know, see, back in the day, you used to be able to get the VHS at the events.
Yeah, Fantasia videos, all of that stuff. What was it, Cyberdelia and all that stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a tape there's a video of Ultrasonic playing at the Big Bang, Fantasia in Scotland. And that was me. See, the minute I seen Ultrasonic and I seen Mallorca Lee, I was like, I want to be that guy. So that was my earliest memory of thinking, right, I want to be an MC, I want to be like that guy.
Right, well, I've got to tell you something here, Ross, just as you say that there. Right, so Tracy's new, she's the Care Bear, she's new to the party then.
Right.
And she doesn't know you at all. And she says to me, I think you should interview this guy. I says, oh, I know, Ross. She says, he comes across to me like the way, see, the chilled out way Malacca is. She says, and she says, this guy Ross, MC Serge, comes across like Malacca Lee to me, and he's just so chilled out, and I'm like, and there you go, saying that was a wee bit of an inspiration to you. I didn't know that, Ross. I didn't know that.
I just remember watching it as younger, and then when I kind of broke into the scene a wee bit myself, and things were going well, I met Mallorca loads of times.
Yeah.
And the respect I have for that man, incredible. Anytime I asked him a question, he would stop and talk to me. He would have a beer with me. He would just pass 10 minutes of his time, even if he was in a rush. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I absolutely appreciated him. So it was great. So that was kind of my background in music, and then obviously things just escalated. I joined the Fantasia forum. When Fantasia.
That's right. Oh, God, that's taking us back now.
Well, I joined the Fantasia forum. That was when, what was it? The Legend Returns in 2006. So I had been on that for the 2005 year ahead. And I went with two of my mates at college, and that was me. Obviously, at that point, I was a raver. I just wanted to go to events. And the minute I went to the Legend Returns, I thought, I seriously started thinking to myself, I could do that. I could be one of the guys at front of the stage. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I had in my head, I was like, I could do that. As my mate used to say to me, he's like, you can never do that. I was like, no, I could. I was like, I have the energy for it. I says, it would just take me time. And then from there, going to the Fantasia and stuff, it built. And then the Fantasia forum stuff, I used to be the interviewer for the Fantasia forum. So like yourself, I used to send DJs questions, and a lot of them would just ding me. They'd be like, who's this random guy messaging me on Yahoo or Hotmail or whatever?
Serge, I didn't know that was you, because Vicky, my ex-wife, she used to be on that forum, and I didn't know what I was doing on that forum. I didn't know what a forum was, so she done it all. But I didn't know that was you done the enter. There were some really, really tight interviews there, by the way, so respect to yourself. I didn't know that. I thought that was Sweets, if you remember Sweets.
Sweets did some of them. To be fair. He started the kind of ball rolling with it, and I think he got to a point where it was taking up a lot of his time and stuff.
Yeah, right,
and
okay.
The opportunity presented itself, and I basically just went, I'll get a bash, thinking that it would nearly come to much. But wow, it exploded, and I think that gave me a wee kind of insight into the industry and the scene. So I was kicking about the Fantasia Forum as the HTID Raver, and then the KT Raver was my two original names, but I kept forgetting my passwords, so I had to keep making up new names.
Right.
And then eventually ended up as, I think it's as new MC Serge, but was the last time I checked in on it. So that's kind of how I started. That was my musical background, and then eventually at one point I was doing Colours Fest, I was doing Fantasyland.
Oh, I remember.
I was working with the guys at Twisted. I was doing stuff for Judgment Day, Mikey B and Bass Generator.
Yep.
I was up in Aberdeen doing stuff with Scotty at Outbreak.
I think you done Big Kev. Yeah, I think you were on a couple of bills up in what was it, Hardcore Temptation? You done that as well, didn't you?
I don't think I ever done a Hardcore Temptation, Glenn. When I think back on it, I done a few charity gigs in Aberdeen because I worked with the stuff I done through Scott at Outbreak. It might have been Big Kev that ran those nights. But
no, I'm sure I was on somebody's podcast last night, and I actually seen an old flyer. It said the Ice Factory, and it was it was a Hardcore Temptation. Sorry, it was a Hardcore Temptation. Big Kev Destruction did.
It might have been actually.
Oh.
You could well be right.
Well, that just shows you how many you've done. You can't even remember.
And if Kev's booked me and I've just absolutely said he hasn't, then I apologise if you're listening in. 100%. I'm still available for bookings if you ever want to.
Brilliant.
So we done them all. I even managed to get a couple of gigs down in England. I worked with DJ FX Cammy for a while, and he done a couple down in England for Decadance.
Oh, right, okay.
Yep. So I wasn't billed for it. It was actually meant to be him and Loco, but for whatever reason, MC Loco wasn't available. And Cammy phoned me. He says, "Do you want to come and do the gig with me?" I'm like, "I'm coming. Let's go to England." Jumped in a car, away we went. So we got a couple down there, they were excellent. They were obviously more English kind of style, UK hardcore or happy hardcore, whatever you want to describe it as. So Cammy would be doing 2 sets in a night. He'd be doing his DJ FX stuff, and then he would be doing Siler, which was his kind of hardstyle name.
Oh, he's a phenomenal DJ. Phenomenal. Absolutely brilliant.
I still keep in contact with him. I've actually just get back in contact with him quite recently, and he seems to be doing well for himself. So shout out Cammy for listening. All right, son.
And also a big respect for myself to Cammy as well. He's a good guy. I think I don't know if you listened to the interview I had Gary MC, the McKenna guy, and Cammy was brought up in that conversation. There's 2 really good scratching DJs in Scotland round about the Ayrshire, and it was Gary MC doing the McKenna and Cammy doing his scratching as well. He's just phenomenal at it. The guy's absolutely wicked at it, man.
Yeah, he can certainly scratch a record.
Damn right he can. He's good at that. He's good at that. I've got 10 questions here, but I think you really covered number 2 there with what you were saying there. What inspired you to pursue? No, you haven't actually. What inspired you to actually pursue a career as an MC? And how did your music background contribute? Now, I know you said there that you were inspired with Malocca and you went, I want to do that. But how did you go from wanting to actually being the MC?
So I think the best way to describe that is say, I've seen that. I remember coming back for that event that night and I thought, right, again, I started with the Fantasia Forum. So I thought, right, I need to start talking to people and work out who's in the scene, who's not in the scene. It's kind of like being in a job. Who's your manager? Who's your supervisor? How do you move up the ladder as such? So
Absolutely.
the Fantasia Forum was a great learning experience for me because even if you weren't asking a question, people would put things up that you maybe wanted to know without being too nosy, without asking everybody the same thing.
Coming across, this is a stupid question, so somebody else has asked it. Good way to do it, but...
They would put, it worked for me, certainly. So they would put things up and they would give me an idea of who promoters were and what area they worked in and things like that. So I started calling myself MC Serge, right?
Right.
And this is before I even had a gig, right? So my mates used to call me Serge. My name comes from, we used to play 5-a-side football, right, at the Pits in Paisley. So there was a programme in Sky One called Dream Team, and the team was called Harchester United, right? So they had purple tops, so we all bought these tops and we get crazy nicknames in the back of them. I used to play golf, and see, instead of saying I'm on a Surge, I used to say I'm on a Serge.
Right,
So
okay.
when I started playing five-a-side football, my mates were like, "Oh, you need to be Serge." So I used to have Serge 69 in the
Right,
back
this
of
is
my
where it
arse.
comes from then. Right,
Aye.
okay.
So the name Serge was in the back of my thoughts. It was Serge 69, and then they went, "Well, if you're going to be an MC, you need to be a name." And I went, "Well, MC Serge," because Serge is like to do something quickly and fast, or to go in a surge, or a
Yeah.
surge and run at football, that kind of thing. So that's where it came from, and it sounds kind of French as well. So it always kind of sounded a bit different for
Well,
the kind of regular names in MC. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
And it's,
So that's
it's
where the
definitely worked, isn't it?
well, aye. So that's where the name came from, and then as I say, we're working with Cammy, and Cammy was working with Mikey B and Bass Senator for Judgment Day, and we went to one of the events. Myself and Sibo went up with Cammy, and all of a sudden I got an opportunity to present it myself. Do you want to kind of start out at Judgment Day and learn the ropes? And I was like, absolutely amazing.
Damn tootin'.
But before I could do a gig for Judgment Day, Scotty at Outbreak booked me, and I was petrified. I'd never done a live gig. I had done things locally in my wee pub in Kilburnie.
Yeah.
So there used to be a DJ called Jamie Phillips. God
This is
rest his soul. He's no here anymore.
Aye, this is a
But
big step up. This is a big step up.
so I used to do stuff with Jamie in a wee pub called Morgan's in Kilburnie. It's now an Indian takeaway, right? But that's where it kind of started, and I would try things in there. And obviously, these are people that were my friends, and that's why I was always, oh, it's amazing, big man, great. But obviously, me being me, I was like, no, I can work in this, I can do that. And I remember going to Outbreak, and I MC'd for techno trance and pretty much every DJ that night. And it was honestly the best learning experience I ever had in my life, because it gave me like a full night of being on the mic. For the starting night to the end of the night, my style totally changed at what I was doing.
And you've got the legend behind you, Technotrans dropping the tunes.
I was
what I mean?
petrified because in my mind I'm going, I better not fuck this up.
I hated that feeling, man. I hated that.
That was at first, and then as I say, I was with 2 or 3 tunes in, and I kind of spoke to Techno, and he just went, "You're doing absolutely fine." He's like, "Just go." He's like, "Just enjoy yourself." We finished the night and had a few beers with Techno fans and stuff, and we had a good crack. And that just, I think that was the making of like what my kind of style was and how I wanted to be. And I think it just showed me that my energy would take me places, if you know what I mean, like my energy on the stage, how I interacted with the crowd and all that. So that was like for where my music came from, the roots, and like taking for what Mallorca Lee did and all that. And that just kind of put that into a big ball and went, right, this is MC Serge, see what happens.
And Serge, I've seen you perform many a times, and that's a lot of people judge, and who are anybody anyway to judge, but they judge MCs on their lyrics, you know. But you're an entertainer, you're a performer, and I seen that, and I was like, no, this guy's enjoying himself. He's just out there doing his thing, and he brilliant. Absolutely, and that's what I think is something special about yourself, is you're an entertainer as much as a performer, and you can see that you have fun, you enjoy yourself.
Listen, there was no way I was going to be doing something like that. I couldn't enjoy myself, as I say.
Of course.
One of the wee lyrics I always used to use was, at first I was a raver, now I'm an entertainer. I'm the one and only dominator of the MC Serge. I used to use that all the time when I first started, because that was me kind of saying, well, look, I used to be raving on the flare. Now I'm just an entertainer, but I'm still a raver, so I know that you want what I wanted when I was down there. So that's how it kind of came across, my energy and stuff. So, and it wasn't, again, lyrically, I've got some lyrics that I use in a day, but I'm certainly not going to sit here and say that I'm the next Eminem coming out of Ayrshire, Scotland, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's what I like about you as well, Ross. I'm calling you Ross, so you're professional.
You're fine.
You're grounded, man. You're absolutely grounded, and you're humble, and you just do your thing because you enjoy it. What I was going to say is we'll get cracking with these questions, because I know there's so much more that I want to dive into here. And this one you've mentioned again, but you haven't actually pinpointed a gig, so I'm going to be precise here. As someone who has MC'd at various prestigious events that you've already mentioned, what has been the most memorable experience of your career so far, and why? So what I'm asking there is, I want to know your favourite gig. I want to know what the one was you went, wow.
See, there's two, Glenn. I'm going to say.
Right, okay.
There's two that I'm going to kind of pinpoint, right? So, as I'm kind of breaking out and doing my things, right, and I'm trying to be MC Serge, the guy that used to help run Fantasia, that I used to call, he was on the forum as Charlie Fantasia.
Charlie, yeah.
Yep, so I think it was Charles Perkins. I think that was his right name.
His name. Yeah, brilliant, decent guy.
Oh, amazing! Mm-hmm. So we used to do the forum meets at Fantasia, and I always told him I was an MC. So one of the Fantasias I met, he says, "Right, you're MC Serge." I said, "Oh, Charlie, great to meet you." And obviously I've been doing interviews and stuff for him, and he says, "Right, let's go and get you on the stage." I went, "What?" I'm not kidding on, Brian. He went, "Come on, take you on the stage." I'm going, "All right." And he's taking me to the main stage, and I've not got a pass or nothing. He's just showing these passes, and I'm petrified. I'm going, "Oh no, I'm going on the main stage, man." I'm thinking, I've done one gig at Outbreak. I was like, "No way." I was like, "I'm here as a raver." Obviously, I was a wee bit mashed. I had a good day out before the event.
As we all do.
And I'm thinking, "Oh no," I was like, this is going to be terrible. So I get to the main stage, and I couldn't tell you who was on the stage. But I think he was looking for a different MC, and he went, right, he's like, "It's not the MC I thought it was, so I'm going to take it elsewhere." So he actually took me out to, I think it was the Twisted tent, and it was MC Ribs.
It was rammed, man. You couldn't even get in it.
Aye, so it was MC Ribs, and it was DJ Obsession that was playing a set.
Right.
So Charlie shouts MC Ribs over and says, "Can I explain the situation? This is one of the guys for the forum. I've promised them that he can get 20 minutes on the mic. Is that all right?" And Charlie's like, "On you go." So I've never, I'd done the Outbreak gig, and it was me all night, so I hadn't taken the mic from an MC or in that sense. So then I'm standing waiting to come on, and then MC Ribs gives me a quick introduction that I'm coming on for 20 minutes. So I've walked on the stage, took the mic for MC Ribs, and I'm thinking, wow, this is potentially the best MC in the business right now, and I'm taking it. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. So Martin was playing a Gabber set, so there wasn't a lot of MCing to be done. It was just to make sure that the crowd were up for it, and to help Martin and DJ Obsession set move along. So I've done it for 15, 20 minutes, and that was just some buzz. I couldn't tell you if I was good or bad that night. I remember all my friends coming in because they followed me. They're like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I think I'm getting in there. Come in." Shouting them all in. So they were all there, and I'd say I'd done 20 minutes, and then I remember shouting MC Ribs back up and passing him the mic. So that probably wasn't my best gig, but it was a very, very big memorable moment for me to say, "Wow, I've just been passed the mic for MC Ribs, and I've gave him it back." And I was like, that's amazing. I've just MC'd at Fantasia. I'm like, wow, that's me. I'd see if I'd have stopped there, I would have been I would have been happy. Mm-hmm. I would have been happy. So as time went on,
that was some event. That was some event, Ross. Actually, it was amazing. The very first one that they come back at Brayhead, the vibe, the experience, everything. It was just fantastic, wasn't it? Mm-hmm.
It was the first 4 or 5 at Brayhead were something amazing. I was fortunate enough to get booked through Colours, and they gave me, it was a Fantasia UV Glow show, and I was on the lineup, flat out booked for Colours to perform at the Fantasia UV Glow show. And I remember running about all my pals, phoning them. I think I ran down the stairs and told my mum. I was still telling my mum at the time. I'm like, "Mum, I'm playing at Fantasia. You don't know how big this is." And she's looking at me going, "What's Fantasia?" I'm like, "It doesn't matter. I'm playing at it."
Brilliant.
So the Fantasia UV Glow show was probably the biggest kind of gig I had done to that date. And I remember one of the MCs that I was talking to before and on, he's like, "Mate, you'll smash it. You'll be absolutely fine." He's like, "Don't worry." He's like, "Don't think about it as having 6,000 people here." He's like, "Just think about it as 12,000 eyes." I was like, "Oh, very good, man, very good." one of the MCs had never managed to make it that night, so I did a lot of cover sets just to make sure that I stayed on track, and the DJs that thought they were getting MCs had them. So
but that
I
was
remember
that
doing
was your big break, because you get that right, then more and more is going to come for that. You know what I mean?
So off the back of that, as I say, that's when things really started to kind of come up. Like, I was getting more and more gigs at the time. That night, I'd done a set with Sai, I'd done a set with DJ Gizmo, I halved a set with the Prophet, who's now retired. So who's one of the biggest hardstyle, hardcore DJs that's kind of ever been about. You know what I mean? Something to do with Q Dance Records as well, I think. So, in the whole grand scheme of things, that was an amazing night. Like, at the time, to play with somebody like Sai and Gizmo and the Prophet, and then I done about another 4 or 5 sets that night between all the different wee arenas, and that was, wow, amazing. Like, just, I remember coming off at the Prophet set and I was just beaming. Whether I was good or bad, I don't know, but I was just beaming the fact that I'd been up there, I had entertained the crowd, I'd helped the Prophet to entertain the Glasgow crowd as such, and it was just, it felt amazing. But the Prophet came off his set, and I remember speaking to him, and it's terrible. Like, when I ever played with international DJs or anything like that, I always tried to slow my accent down because I'm hard enough to understand as it is, Glenn.
Right.
So I never knew if I was sounding silly. I'd be like, hey, how did you think your set went? And was it good? And you know what I mean? They must have thought, what is this guy doing? He's mental. You know what I mean?
But see, that's the humble part of you as well, Ross. Because give yourself a pat in the back. You absolutely rocked it. You absolutely rocked it. But I know you question everything. I know that. I know what it's like being a performer. You question absolutely everything you do.
No, I remember going down to the front. I always had a hang about going down to the front of the stage here at bigger events, just to be close to the crowd, so you could see them. It's fine being on the stage. It was one thing I always looked at. I went, right, do you know what? I can see you, but see if I get closer to you, I can see your eyeballs, I can see your face. You know what I mean? Some people, as I always say, some people would kind of maybe say, oh, you're not the best or whatever. Absolutely fine. You pay your money, you pay your ticket to get in. If you like me, great. See if you don't like me, absolutely fine. You've paid your money, you're entitled to your opinion.
You're right.
You charge on. You know what I mean? But my main thing was, right, just get out there and let people see that you're enjoying yourself, that you've got this energy, and try and feed it into the crowd so it feeds back to the DJ. That was always my way of looking at it. And most of the time it seemed to work, to be fair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
see what you were saying there as well about getting yourself involved and reading the crowd and all of that stuff. I mean, that's a skill. That's a skill. No everybody can do that. So, give yourself a bit of a pat in the back, man.
I'll take it.
Right, so I'm going to move on with these questions, right? And we can sit here as long as we want, Ross. We'll just chill. We'll get number 4 here. Right, and I know you mentioned away up at question number 1 that you're doing a wee bit of events and stuff like that yourself, and you went into doing a wee bit of promotion. So I'd like to focus in the next couple of questions on that. Could you share some insight into the event you organise? And don't get me wrong here. I think it's in Dorai, but you can correct me in a minute. Right, so I know you organise a do in Dorai. How did you come up with the idea, and how is it gaining traction? How is it getting on?
Magic, thanks for asking, Glenn. The wee night in Dorai, we call it Electric, right? And it's something I've actually been running for a good number of years between Beath and Dorai. So when I used to do the MCing, the kind of bigger stuff, we always used to have a wee night in Beath at the Anderson Hotel, and we used to call that Pace. Right. Okay. We always used to say, we bring the pace, you bring the energy. As such, that was the tagline of the event, right?
Right.
That was my cheesy tagline, obviously. So we always kind of done that. It was always just to reflect off the back of the big events that were happening.
Right.
But it was to locally give, if people couldn't get to the big events, we used to charge £2 on the door.
Brilliant.
And we used to try and get like one of the bigger Scottish artists to come down and support the event if we could. We didn't always get them, but it was maybe 5 or 6 local DJs that brought 10, 15 of their friends, and we just had a party, basically. Yeah. It was our chance to go out, play our tunes. So for there, it's always been about, and then I moved it back to Dorai. I used to play in the Tartan Bar. when Sharon and Derek owned it, Sharon and Derek Long, and they basically says to me, run a night in here, on you go, see how you go on. This is when I had kind of, not come away for the scene, but I was getting booked less, and maybe things weren't quite as busy for me as such. Right. So I focused my time and energy on that. We called it electric, so it was like all these different electrical styles under one roof, basically. So it wasn't just hardcore and hardstyle. It was like cheesy disco pop, and then you would maybe have a bit of house, and then we'd have techno DJs, and then hardstyle DJs, and so it was a bit of everything, so that you could come along, even if you didn't like particularly hardstyle and hardcore, there'd be a bit of techno there for you.
Yep, at some point your music will come on.
Yeah, exactly, it'll come on, but it was to give us a chance to play with the music. So now that we're back in the Black Bundle, right, where I've always DJed for years. These days, I'm not just an MC a day, private parties, bar mitzvahs, weddings, you name it, I do it as well. So I'm out with my equipment most weekends, but
Fantastic.
This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I want to be doing my own wee events, playing my own kind of music. You're doing parties, you've got to listen to the audience and the crowd. So if you get asked for the slosh, you're playing the slosh. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Whereas this is me doing my stuff. This is me playing my kind of music. I promote it that way. Like, it's going to be a night of electrical dance style music. Come and enjoy it.
Well, sorry, I know I'm butting in there. You just triggered me something. Right, so when I used to do the FPR radio and Paisley and stuff like that, I wasn't really interested in doing your resurrections or your nightclubs, or I was too nervous a person, right? See, downstairs in that big hall at the FPR radio, I think you did come in, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah, you did.
One of the first ever kind of wee gigs I done was in there, and I was so nervous. It was actually Cammy phoned me. Aye, so right. Cammy phoned me and asked me to come up, because he was meant to be an MC, and he went, do you want to come up and MC for me? And I come up, and I remember doing one with Cammy, and then I come back, it was DJ Jambo for the Fantasia Forum.
Aye, that's right, Jamie.
And I remember having a wee book with lyrics and that in it, and I don't think I used it once, and I left it in there. I think he gave me it back about 3 weeks later. That's yours, big man. Thanks very much.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what I used to play. I used to play the slosh. If I was getting asked to play the slosh, and do you know what? We had some of the rarest nights in there, by the way. It was absolutely brilliant. So all respect to you, because as I say, that was something that I was looking at. I was sent to Tracy. It was something that I was looking to get back into, and then I was like, oh, can I really be bothered hoofing about all the gear and all the into the back of the motor and then back? Oh, I don't know if I can do all that again.
Don't get me wrong. I work with DJ Copies, who I work with now.
Right.
So massive respect to Alan. Like, between myself and Alan, it's our equipment. We go about, we do our parties, but myself and Alan, we are hardstyle and hardcore fans. If you get home, I'm more old school than I'm maybe hardcore as such, and I love my hardstyle. I'm not going to lie on that. But Alan, he's very much, he started in UK hardcore. Now he's into his hardstyle, and I swear to God, I used to work with Sibo, and I had great gigs with Sibo. We had great times as the SAS, but see, over the last 3-4 years, I've been working with Alan non-stop at parties. That man, as a DJ, he can mix setting. Honestly, he can go for the slosh and the anger fist. He's tremendous. And he keeps me on my toes. It's unbelievable. So he's the man. Like, when I promote my events, I promote it as, right, come and enjoy this. I'll maybe start the night. I'll do a bit of DJing, kind of simple dance stuff, dance classics, that kind of stuff that everybody will know. But as it gets busy and people long for a wee bit harder and faster, Alan's the man. DJ Copey is the man.
Oh, there you go. There's a good bit of PR right there. Right, so if you don't mind, we'll jump on to the next question. I think I'm going to drop number 5, because you answered that there. You answered that, and it was basically about your events and what makes your event a memorable experience, right? So we go into a normal gig. You just explained it all. You just you'll do dance, you'll do party anthems, you'll do whatever satisfies the punters, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
That's it. Well, the other thing that we do is, see, because it's quite local and it's so close, 9 times out of 10 I'll go speak to people. I'll sit and have a drink with them. I know it sounds really cheesy, but they're new to it, I'll have a talk with them. Like, how do you like the night? What do you like? What kind of music do you like?
Yeah.
And I get a bit of feedback. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. They normally buy me the drink, which is quite nice.
Freebies are always good.
Aye, so you know I don't get your wages to the end of the night. So if they buy your drink, it's even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Aye, so it's all good.
We've been doing a couple of private parties and VIP parties for, we'd say, well-off kids and stuff like that, right? The rich kids. And that's what they asked. They says that what we do, so I'll not go into what we do, but they said it's a memorable experience because of what you do after you DJ. And I says, what do you mean? And he says, come down and actually talk to the punters, engage with them. Some of them might ask you just because some of the stuff that I do, they get free merch, and I'm not a big famous person, but they ask for a wee signature, and that makes their night, Ross. That makes their night fantastic.
Massively.
And that's what I'm saying with you doing that as well. Going having a wee chat, interacting. How did you think the night? Magic, brilliant. A lot of promoters can take something for your book. Definitely. Right, I'll jump on to number 6. This is a hard one because I know you were speaking that you're a daddy as well. So how do you balance the responsibilities of being an MC, also organising your events? What challenges do you face in managing both roles, plus being a family man as well?
Well, I'll tell you this, I know it's not easy at times. However, I'm thankful that I've got a good support network, that people that help me. My mum and dad, my brother, and his wife as well. They help me out. If I need a babysitter, sometimes they'll help me out so that I can get to my gigs and my events and stuff like that. So it's big up respect to them. I couldn't do it without them. But regards of the promoting side, it's because it's only kind of one event. I say we're branching out into Beath. In December, so it's September there. At the end of December for a Christmas night.
I seen that. The 23rd. Was that the 23rd?
It's the 22nd in the Eglinton Inn in Beath, and then it's the 23rd in Dalry in the Black Bull. So again, right now in the Black Bull, we're monthly, so we do an event every month in there, unless we're already booked as such for our other stuff. But once a month in the Black Bull, we're hoping that's going to take off in Beath as well. So as such, for the organising side, we hope that we're going to have 2 monthly events. So ideally one at the start of the month and one at the end of the month. And that gives us a couple of free weekends in between. It also gives locally the people of Beath a chance, and then the people of Dalry a chance, so that we can go either side. And it spreads the words. It gives that different vibe in a different town on a different night. Is the way we look at it. So that's what we're trying to do. Regards to the MCing side, that just happens. Once it sounds silly, but once I'm there, so we'll do all the promo before it, and then once I'm there, bang, it just happens.
So the MCing part is you enjoying yourself and relaxing.
Pretty much. So
well, that shows you.
No, you're absolutely fine.
No, I was just going to say that shows you how professional we are. It's picking up the mic. Great. I love listening here. This is great.
No, I thought to say it is challenging to try and get the time and do the promo. As I say, obviously, I work with Copy. He's a great DJ, but I'm the promo guy. So when it needs to get done, I'm on the TikTok, or I'm on Snapchat, and I'm on Facebook. I'm trying to drop wee videos just to say, come on out and support us, moan out. That's my tagline at the minute, moan out.
Right, so I've seen you on TikTok and I've seen you on Facebook, and honestly, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because it's causing attention and it's getting me to watch, and if I'm watching, then other people are watching, and the other people are watching, so just keep doing what you're doing, Ross. It's brilliant. Yeah. I know, I know what it's like doing TikTok. You feel an absolute idiot. You're like, am I doing this right? I was sitting doing the camera angles, holding it up. What do I say? Right, no, delete that. Let's do it again. So I just kind of
go for it. I feel like I go for it, and if it's not right, it's not right. I feel that's authentic. See if there's a wee hiccup in it.
I love it.
That's authentic. Just go. Yep. So,
and it's your wee mannerisms that you do as well, and I'm like, this guy's just brilliant. I love it. Just keep doing what you're doing, Ross. Absolutely. Right, I'm going to push you because we've been talking for ages here, right? But that's good. No. We'll use all of this as well. Where are we? Right, I asked you about your responsibilities. Can you talk about the importance of creating a relaxed, enjoyable atmosphere at your events, and how do you engage with the audience to make them feel involved and entertained? Now, you said that about going down and meeting the punters and speaking to them and stuff, but when you're up there being an MC, you have to command that stage. So how do you do that? How do you get people involved in what you're doing?
I think the best way of describing it is like I'm always looking at people, I'm pointing at them, I'm shouting them over to
Right.
what we're using, and I'm talking to them all the time. And I say, a Scottish crowd, there's certain chants that you can get a do and say, and even if they're not up dancing, they'll shout back to you. You know what I mean? So it makes the atmosphere, it provides a wee bit of ambience, as you want to say.
Very
And
good.
it just it brings them up a level. So I think the best way to describe it is there's a lot. Might sound a bit mad, but there's a lot of alternative rockers come to my wee gig in the Black Bull.
Is that right?
Right?
Yeah.
And they go daft for Rob Zombie, right? So I will always play a couple of Rob Zombie tracks. I've got a couple of remix ones, but I normally fling them in the middle of the night. They always come to support me because they just like to see the local town doing well. So they'll come out, entertainment, so I'm going to come see that. So like to that, reading the crowd, like, do you know what, right, I know what they like. I know they like Rob Zombie, so I fling a Rob Zombie track on and they go mental. You know what I mean? And I think that's appreciation. Well, you're trying to help us, so we're going to go up and rock your dance floor for the next 10 minutes, and they do it every single time.
Absolutely. So that kind of goes back to question 5, creating a memorable experience as well, because they'll go away and they'll wake up the following morning going, can you remember you on the dance floor? Can you remember what you were doing? And it's great because it creates experiences for people, and then they want to come back and do that the next time.
Well, again, everybody that comes to the wee gig, they're always dead appreciative on the way out the door. I'm normally packing away as they're getting out, but they're always, brilliant, big man, see you next month, and that kind of stuff. And it's nice to hear, as much as you're not doing it for admiration and high fives and stuff, it is nice to hear that people have enjoyed themselves, you know what I mean? And they tell you, look, I'm going to be back. So you think, oh, that's good, that's working, let's keep doing that, you know what I mean? So it is good. And I say, you try and read the crowd and play to who's there. So that's how you make them feel relaxed and then involved and entertained. I say, there is a lot of times I'll go out and I still love to rave, Glenn. I still love to try and get my legs going, get my hands going. I still want to say I'm the same. Mm-hmm. So I'm out there, I'm raving. So if there's somebody get their legs going, I'm out there trying to match them and kind of just bounce off them, because that's what I remember. That's what made me love rave music as such, dance music. It was like, right, that's how I started, by doing that, by dancing and enjoying the tune. So when they're doing that, and it's maybe no time for me to be doing lyrics or hyping them up, I'm out there dancing beside them just to say, well, you know what, I love this as much as you do, so let's just enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, I'm just one of yous. That's all I am, and I love that attitude, Ross. I think you're amazing for that as well. I've got a couple of interesting questions for you here, and this is where you get to turn your experience into a wee word of wisdom. What advice? Right, but you've also, because I kind of worded the questions on your MCing, but no, you're a bigger bag than just an MC here, right? So I'm going to kind of triple barrel this question. What advice would you give to someone looking to pursue a career in DJ, MCing, and also the promotion game? Are there any specific skills or qualities that are essential to succeed in this field?
The first thing I'll always say, in any of the three of them, is be prepared to listen. So see when somebody wants to talk to you, even if you like them or you don't like them, listen to them. Because see, in that wee sentence that they give you, there might be that one wee nugget that you take away and it proves to be vital for what you want to do, regards of DJing, regards of MCing, or regards of promotion. And listening's not just right taking it in. So if you speak to somebody, talk, but listen, be able to take in information, record it, take it in, don't just empty it away. That's the one thing that I've always took away from anything that I've ever done. Listen to people, even though you might think it's utter rubbish. Listen to them and say, right, you know what, there was a one wee nugget in that I took for that, and that always helped me. Being able to listen to people, even when I was maybe not in the best of moods or the best frame of mind to listen to them, i.e. I was far too drunk.
Yeah.
Definitely, that would be the first thing I say is listen, take in what you can, ask questions. I did it as I said previously, as an interviewer. Ask questions. Nothing's really silly, but ask questions. if you don't ask, you'll never get in back.
That's,
You know what I mean?
that's
If you
perfect.
stay
Yep.
if you stay quiet, nobody will ever talk to you. Obviously, as I grew up, my actual thing that I used to do, I used to be a sports coach, right?
Right.
So I was always talking to people and feeding them information. And but it's a simple thing when I used to coach football to young kids, how to do a Cruyff turn or how to transition from the inside to the outside of your foot. So it's always giving them information. Ask questions. If you don't know, ask me, I'll help you. So that's always been instilled in me, I think. So for me, that works. But I would say that to anybody, take in information, ask questions, and don't be scared to approach people, even big promoters, and say, "This is who I am. What do you have going? Could you use somebody like me?" The amount of times that I've brass canned it and asked people, "I'm MC Serge. Could I do something for you? Could I help you?" And I go, "Well, you might be able to. What can you offer?"
What can you offer?
So ask questions, go there. Promoting wise, find something that works for you. So for me, I've got, as I say, it's like a wee niche in the wee area. It's a small area, but there's not a lot of people doing it. So go and look what's out there. Can you do something different for the rest? It might still be the same kind of idea as most, but what do you do different? Like what you said before, Glenn, that sets you apart, what makes it memorable for them? What can you do different? Can you keep it local? Can you keep it like at the price, doing that kind of stuff? Like we do it in a pub now, so it costs none for people to come along. If they don't like it, they can leave in half an hour. They're well, I've no wasting any money. I bought one drink. I'm going to stay out for another couple anyways. Or if you are doing it, can you keep it at £2-3 on the door so that people will come in and go, well, I've no wasted any money, or that kind of stuff. So cost price.
I've bought the promoter a drink. There you go. That's a two. Do you know you're going to get a drink for £2?
That kind of stuff. MC wise, I would say it's different now. There's not a lot of MCs out there for hardstyle and hardcore. It's mostly international MCs that are coming over now because they've been doing it so well for so long, Glenn.
Yeah, I know.
It's not to say that we can't do it, but it's more the way the scene's evolved and moved on. Like, to be honest, a lot of people don't want MCs that maybe the way that a Scottish MC's portrayed, kind of over the Dutch style of like hardcore or hard style. But I still think there's a place for it. I still think that you need somebody. It's like I always say when I used to do gigs in Glasgow, a Glasgow crowd is different from any crowd I've ever worked with. 1 minute they can be so flat, but within 20 minutes that could be the best gig you've ever done in your life.
Absolutely.
So,
and I think I'm going to just stick my head. I think the capital of the rave world is Glasgow. I'm sorry, man. I love it. Their attitude is amazing.
Definitely, as I say. So, but if you are an MC and you're out there, so when I started, I didn't just do raves. I did boxing shows. I did. I went and I advertised myself at kids football teams.
Yeah, I think you used to put flyers up and you used to put wee pictures and stuff like that. There's other stuff that you were doing. I remember that. Mm-hmm.
So I used to do. There was a local gym. They used to do strongman events. So I used to get in and like introduce them. I like just doing their events and stuff. So MC stands for Master of Ceremonies. It doesn't mean that you're the centre piece. You're there to provide support and help. You know what I mean? Keep things moving along. It's not about you. It's not about you being the main guy or the big guy am as such. You are there to help the DJ if you're on the stage. You're there to support him. You're there, if you're doing like when I used to do boxing shows, you're there to promote the two boxers that are coming to the ring. You're there to give them a lift.
Yeah.
So take in things you can do. Like, lyrically, you might be excellent. That's great. But go and try a different style. Do something different. Don't always just have the one thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Don't always just, that's me. Go and try different things. You might not like it. It might not work for you. But go and try it. Go and see where you are. Like, I tried to write lyrics and stuff like that. And I wanted to. It was just very cheesy stuff. And I went, nah, that's not going to work. So I kind of stuck to what I knew. But I tried it. It just didn't work for me. So go out there, try new things, be different, understand what an MC is. It's not all about you. It's about the DJ and supporting them. And I think a lot of people get lost in that. And I always tried to remember that when I was on stage, right? People are not here to see you. You can help them. But it's about the DJ that you're on supporting. Let them be the focus. So, as an MC, that's one of the best things I can always say.
You have an absolutely amazing attitude, man. Do you know what? I have really enjoyed myself doing this interview with you, listening to all the stuff that you're saying. But plus, you're a bloody motivational speaker as well, Ross. Right,
It's like,
just to push you
right.
a wee bit, we've got two more questions. Keeping your head in the game, right? So you kind of have touched on this as well, but there's obviously an element of, you know, how you keep your gig fresh. You've already said that. So the question is, how do you keep up with the latest trends and developments in the event industry, and how do you incorporate these trends into your own events? That you have kind of touched a wee bit on it as well, but I presume it's equipment as well. Equipment's expensive for us.
Aye. So again, we're fortunate. Myself and Kopi, again, I'll big him up. Like when we started doing this, he was the guy that's like to me, we need to get this, we need to get that. And like this is great for parties and if we do events, so it'll work. So digitally now is obviously the way forward. Obviously, you used to always have the argument CD, vinyl, and then it was what about digital? That's just the way forward now because it's quick, it's accessible, and the quality of it's perfect every time. So you have to have the right equipment, and then when you're doing your gigs, and it's simple with regards to talent, keep it fresh. Don't use the same people all the time. Obviously, just now it's myself and Alan for our gigs, but we've got 4 or 5 DJs lined up to come in over the next year to come and do sets and kind of take over a wee bit as well, so that we keep it fresh. So it's not just me and Alan, or me and Kopi, sorry, as his DJ name is. So it's no Serge and Kopi. It'll be a different DJ with Kopi and myself, or I'll maybe take a back seat that night and I'll let Kopi go and I'll just do the promoting side of it. Be adaptable, be changeable. Don't just think, right, well, that's working the now. Doesn't mean it's going to work forever. Change it up, be different, try something different. Obviously, because we're working in pubs, we have to make sure people are over the age of 18.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is annoying because there's a lot of young talent running about this kind of ask me, can I send you a mix? Can I do this? And I'm like, look, I would love to. So there is kind of things in the pipeline that we might go, no massive, but we might do something a wee bit bigger, maybe book a community centre out or book a different kind of hall out so that we can get the guys on. Yeah. And do something different with it.
Well, that covers that development part there, because what you're coming across there is you might have a pool of young, new, fresh talent that you'll be able to promote, put freshly in your gigs, and that keeps it busy. People want to spend money. They want to come and see what you're doing, and if you're constantly doing that, then it's going to work. So you just keep on doing what you're doing. I'm sorry, I'm pushing you right at the end here.
You're absolutely fine.
I've got one more question, and it's probably taken from your Fantasia forum. A view to the future. Looking ahead, what are your future goals, aspirations as an MC, DJ and an event organiser? Are there any upcoming projects, collaborations or anything exciting that you want to tell us about?
As I say, I kind of said earlier, but we're moving. One main thing, the news in the Blackpool and Dalry, that's where we've started in the last 4 months, and we've been building that up slowly. So we're moving into Beath on the 22nd of December at the Eglinton Inn. So that'll be a good gig. I'm pretty sure of that. As I say, keep your eyes peeled in the social channels. You'll see all the promo for both events, guys. But what we are looking for is, I kind of touched on it there, we're maybe looking to do something a wee bit bigger than just pubs. Maybe not all the time, but maybe 2-3 times a year, where we can maybe pull in a bigger crowd, make it more a diverse culture as such, and give people a chance to play their music, let them play out in front of people, because it's not always easy. As much as I'm saying, right, go and ask promoters and see we are. Not everybody gets a chance. I was fortunate enough that I did get a chance, but not everybody does get it. So if I can help in any way, like put people out there, put them on the stage, and give them a chance to play their records, play their tracks. There's a lot of producers and stuff.
Absolutely love it.
There's run about this area, there's producers and stuff, so like they're making tracks and stuff, and they're maybe not getting the biggest of pushes, and their tracks are maybe not that much heard of. So if I can get them out and just help promote the music, then great. Know what I mean? It's not about me. It's about what can we do? How can we make the event better? So if I can bring in new, fresh talent and they've got tracks that are excellent, go and play them. Let people hear them. So you're never going to get them on mainstream radio in Scotland. That's just the way it is. Unless it's
sadly, that's the way it is. But it is what it is, isn't it?
Yep, that's it. So that's kind of what we're doing going forward. I say, Kopi's the man with regards to the DJ and stuff that we do. So hopefully going forward, myself and Alan, I'm gonna put a plug out there for myself. Myself and Alan are still available for gigs and bookings. If anybody wants to book us, I don't care. It's a shameless plug. I'm no fear. I'll take the backlash. So anything at all that guys are looking for, myself and Alan, we can sort you out. But we want to do something a wee bit bigger. We still want to do our wee gigs because they're great and we love the crowds that we're getting for them. But going forward, we've got an idea to tweak it up just a notch or two going forward, Glenn. And I say, if we can get involved with anybody else is doing similar stuff or anything like that, then we're all for it. We'll shake your hand deal. If we can do something to help you out and you can help us out, that kind of,
yeah.
Let's do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm no big-headed enough to say, right, oh no, my event's this and my event's that. Nothing like that. It's all peace, love, unity, and respect for me. So let's get together and do stuff.
Absolutely love it. So Ross, I was talking to you off air, and I was kind of giving you a wee programme of what we're planning to do and what's. So we will put something. I don't know when, but we will put something and hopefully a few things together. We'll try and incorporate you into that as well. That's not a big promise, but you know how the music industry works. 1 minute we're all for that, and then the next minute it's all up in the air. So we're slowly here. We're slowly here working, and we've got a few big things, I think, in the pipeline, but I don't want to open my mouth and say too much of the now.
No. Yeah. I get that. Until all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed and all that, I 100% understand that.
Absolutely.
The fact that you've even gave me an inclination that you want to do something, respect that and appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. Listen, it's been an absolute fantastic hour. I've really enjoyed it. I've went through absolutely everything, and you know what, I think you should just go and put your cape on because you are Superman, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I thank you for taking time out for us. All right.
No, Glenn, thanks for having me, and to your listeners and everybody that tunes in, keep tuning in every Friday. The man just tried to put something different out there for you. So respect to you and your crew, Glenn. Appreciate it 100%. So keep charging on, mama.
Thank you, boss. Ladies and gentlemen, it's MC Serge.